Good evening. Gee, it's been great, the weather's been fantastic. Not been in, this is the first time I've been in for a little while. And it's evening time. It's not been a bad day, it's alright. I walked to Blackness. I wandered down. It's the first one I've had for a while. Oh, it's busy that path now. It's part of the John Muir Way, of course. And, excuse me while I suck on the end of this nicotine stick. Oh, what can you say? I'm told that I'll want to stop smoking. Gee whiz, what can you say? No, not at this moment anyway. So, but yeah, I wandered down and it's busy walk now. One time I walked that road years ago, or a way anyway. There's nobody on it, very few people. And especially in the winter in particular, you've never got anybody. Well, it's now part of, as I say, the John Muir Way, so it's improved significantly. And from Blackness to Boney, it's tarmac. It's lovely. A motorway. So it's extremely busy, especially at the weekend anyway. But I bumped into an acquaintance of mine, Colin, my Irishman, old Jan's house a couple of years ago. And an interesting man. From somewhere in Solomon, I can't remember the place now. He's got a place over there, he's got a house there, and he's just bought the Blackness Inn with big plans for it. It's a machine. That's what you could say about him, Colin. So I was waiting on Grace picking me up, and so we had a little chat just before Sheena gave him a shout for his tea. So and that was that. So back the day, and I sorted these sticks out. I was just going to say that there. I went away the other week there and bought part of the West system that I did buy. The first time I mentioned it in one of the videos. But I bought the 105 resin, the West 105 resin, epoxy resin. Great stuff, absolutely fantastic. But when I was buying it, I did realise at the time that I wouldn't be able to measure this properly between that and the hardener, because there's 1/3 hardener to 3 parts resin. So difficult to figure out. Mathematics would never be a strong point, especially if you've up in quantity anyway. So there was big syringes there you do get for it, and well, syringes in different sizes. So I ended up buying, ambitious again of course, bought the big size, and suddenly ended up with far too much resin. You know, what can you say? And that was me taking it on the smallest measure on the syringes. I thought, well, buy the syringes there, going up in increments there, and then going up. So it's simple, but to me it was simple. Not realising just the amount of stuff and how far it goes. It does go quite a distance. It's really just it's a paintable resin. And as I was saying, I was getting it for the antler. Totally seal it off. But I'd only expected I was only going to do a trial thing on the antler. And then stop it once I'd done a couple. And I thought that would be enough stuff to do. Oh, jeez. So needless to say, I had to go on. I would not want to waste it because it's expensive stuff. In total there's about 50 odd quid's worth. Maybe getting closer to 60 by the time. We were McMorran 60 with tiny syringes and all that. So I wasn't going to waste it, but I'll waste that. So ended up doing too much, and it does run. As I discovered, didn't really look as if it was going to run at the start when I did it, but after leaving the sticks a couple of days to harden off, I checked out to find that I'd got runs. Oh, gee whiz. So I've spent the last hour or so busily trying to take the worst of the runs off, and the teardrops at the end of the runs, which is more of a problem. By the time I had this thing were off and varnished, the shanks that were fine, not noticed it. But it was work I could have been doing without. So, so anyway, that's that. You know, be prepared. This is the thing, and have something else that you can use excess resin up on, just in case you end up with it, because I'm sure you can bin it. As I say, that price I didn't really want to. But I was going to show you this. This is quite an interesting piece of wood. This in the deer park a couple of weeks ago, they were busy chopping down a lot of the old specimen trees that are past their prime. A lot of oak, a lot of various other things, beech and this and that. But this one was, what the hell was it now? Chestnut Oak. I'd never heard of it. I had to look it up. The chap had said to me, he says, what is that? I can't remember it with leaves and everything on it as such, but it did look like chestnut, bark-wise and all the rest of it. So the chap assured me it was a chestnut oak, not native to this. I can't remember where it came from now. Anyway, they were felling it. It was a standing dead. It had been dead a long, long time, as you can see by the condition of the timber. When they did fell it, it collapsed and just went, a lot of it went into powder. Funny enough, when I looked round about it, I thought I'd seen more evidence of woodpeckers on it, but no, I don't know whether there's something. But needless to say, I had to have a bit of it. And I did go, there's about a chance to help yourself. I went, okay. So I did bits and pieces and whatnot. And what was interesting to me was it came away into the various years that it had been growing. And I found that fascinating, in the fact that what actually, what had actually happened in these years, because you were standing with a year's growth in your hand from whatever time, I don't really know. The tree would be in itself probably, I would reckon, over 200 years, but I'm not sure. I really don't know. But what was amazing was you were standing with, and all the layers were exposed, and you were standing with a moment in time. And you were left wondering, the question was, I wondered what had happened in that year. Well, that was my question anyway. Why do you think like this? But it gets you. So what moments in time, what actually happened in that moment, in that year's growth? Some years are better than others, you can see by the difference in thicknesses and whatnot. And you can just see that there's been different growth rates, and as I say, what some years have been better than others. And, but what happened in the world in that year, and what happened in the estate that year. So, needless to say, I've got a little project in mind, so I ended up cutting leaves out, and the shapes and whatnot, and staining them and putting a bit of tonal on them and whatnot. And so I had something else in mind, but the good lady ended up buying, and you can't beat laser cut, can you, nowadays? Gee whiz, it's so good. I could do one of these things. And I'll not say what it actually is, but she had went and bought, it's a buying thing I've got a problem with, but she did it, and she bought these laser cut trees, and they're so nice, it's accurate, it's so good. And I kind of reneged about it at the start. I said, oh, I'll not do this and whatnot, but anyway, when I seen what she had done with them, I went, oh yeah, it works. It's better than what I'm going to do. Does it have the story behind it? No, it doesn't have the story behind it, but then most people won't realise what there's a story there in the first place. So, yeah, we'll just have to back off and go, yep, that'll look better, that'll be better, yep, just go that way, which is pleased that I came tremendously. So there we are. But it's a good man that knows when to admit that he's wrong. I don't like it, but well, but as I said, it won't give you that. So, and for me, it's always about the story behind it. And so So that was that. So I've busily been juking around with that kind of thing, and I quite enjoyed it. I got the wee frets all out, and I say cut them out to shape and that kind of thing. So they worked all right, and I'll use them. I will use them on this. I've got another little bit of thing going. So I've got something going, like, you know. So I will use them on something else. So what will you waste this? Getting the bits when you do split them, getting them to the ears apart, the layers apart, the gross rings to separate. It's basically a water job, hot water, and trying to. A particular smell comes off it when you're doing it too. It reminded me of the aniseed. It was like an aniseed smell, but something pleasing about peeling back the ears. I can only do that with myself. To peel the ears back. If you look at that mirror nowadays, gee whiz, it's not a pretty sight at all. So we're just going to wait up for our tea. So I thought I'd make a quick little one and just run it by. And but if you're looking for a system to seal off sticks, that West system, that's the first time I've ever used it. I've used this, the paintable resin. Yeah, it's very, very good, very hard. Oh, gee whiz. So I think once you had coated it, particularly the antler and everything, once you've coated it with that, there'll not be any damage at all. Nothing will get through it. Weather certainly won't get into it, and if you get around about the joint between the antler and the stick, the shank, yeah, not be a problem at all. Good strong system, but be prepared in terms of have everything ready to go. That's the secret to it all, and so that's it. But darkness is upon us now, so I think we'll leave it at that. There was something else I was going to say, but I'll probably say too much. I do tend to say too much now. There's more talking than working. In fact, there's more talking than walking now. It's taking me longer to get there. But I still enjoy it. It's given me a bit of chip. And I'll not tell you the story of the hospital thing, because it's one for a complete video in itself, just about, like, you know. Marvellous, marvellous. But anyway, we're going to go and get tea. I hope you've all been enjoying this weather, and I hope it continues. Early spring, some birds, everything thinks it's spring, everything thinks spring is spring. Anyway, all the best, and we'll catch you again. Cheers.